Hey, it's the Local Spotlight Show here at WJBM Studios in Jerseyville, Illinois, the voice of the Tri-Counties. I am Chris Lorton. I am your host today. I have a special guest today, too. But, hey, just a reminder, this interview and maybe 60, 70, 80, I don't know how many interviews we've done on YouTube. So you can go to our YouTube channel and actually watch and listen. And you can also go to our webpage, Listen on Demand, and we've got a whole catalog of all of our interviews, something like we're knocking on 400 interviews in just a couple years. And if you happen to know somebody, you can go, oh, you know what? Chris needs to interview this guy or this gal. They got a great story. Let us know. Contact us. Everybody's got a story, and we like to hear it. So now, going on to my guests, Rachel Cox. Welcome, Rachel. How are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Rachel Cox, she lives here in Jersey.
Yep.
Has a couple of children.
Yep.
And you teach at the high school from 8th grade. What all do you teach?
So I teach 8th grade through 12th grade. I'm in the special ed department. I teach English and social studies.
I see.
I love it. It's so much fun.
How long have you been teaching?
So this is my 5th year teaching and my 3rd year at Jerseyville. Okay. And I absolutely love Jerseyville. It is, the community here just says, there's just so much, how do I want to say it? Community.
Where'd you grow up at?
So I started here in Jerseyville, and then my mom remarried, and I moved to Southwestern District. I lived in Medora and graduated from Southwestern, but now I'm back in Jerseyville. So
okay. And when you got out of high school, did you go right in and get working on your teaching degree?
I did not, actually. So I went to Hickey College first over in Westport and got my paralegal certificate. And then I worked as a paralegal for about 14 years before I decided to go back to school to be a special education teacher. Yes.
Now, what's the job of a paralegal? What do they do?
So I worked for a real estate firm. So I drafted petitions. I did a little bit of everything.
You did all the work for the attorneys, right?
That's right. That's exactly what I did. I did all the work for the attorneys. I did so many different things for that company. I even helped them start an office whenever they opened an office in Kansas City. Me and another girl would flip-flop. We went out there and helped them do that. And so I did lots of different things. I worked in title. I worked in, worked drafting petitions. I worked in just so many different things with them.
Well, I imagine. And did you stay just with that firm for how many years?
I was with them for 12.
Okay.
And then they were over in Missouri. And so after I started having kids, it got, I worked a lot of hours. And so I felt like I wasn't seeing my kids very much. And my oldest son has special needs. Mm-hmm. And it just became, I knew I wanted to do something more than what I was doing, if that makes sense. Mm-hmm. And after having him,
what do you mean something more?
I just didn't feel...
You wanted to contribute more? You wanted to help people more?
I wanted to help people. I knew I always wanted to help people, or help kids is what I really wanted to do.
Okay.
And so, but with my family all being in education, my mom, she was a teacher and a principal. And then I have my three biological sisters are all three work in districts. One of them works here in the Jerseyville district. And they're all teachers too. And I always was no, I don't want to do the same thing as them.
Yeah.
But then that passion came. And after having my son with special needs, I knew I want to be a special education teacher. That's what I'm here to do.
And
you know what I mean? And I did it. I did it as a single mom with 2 kids.
Hey.
So if anybody can do it, if I can do it, I always say for real, if I can do it, anybody can do it, because I was going back to school full time, working 3 jobs.
So part of you're teaching English and social studies.
Yeah.
but you're also the head. You got a new program going on,
Yes.
Special Olympics.
Oh my goodness, yes. I love Special Olympics.
And you recently had a big game, or have had a couple games.
Yes.
Tell us about that.
Okay, so our first debut, I guess you would call it, was whenever we it was a mega night at the high school. About a month or so ago. I can't remember the exact date right off the top of my head because it was so exciting. Our kids they did such a great job. But we did a scrimmage against ourselves during a varsity boys halftime of a mega night. So there was tons of people there.
And your son played?
And my son played.
Okay.
Oh my goodness, yes. We like to call him Big Al.
Okay.
So everybody knows him as Big Al.
Now, is this co-ed? Or is this?
It's co-ed.
Okay.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. And so we have boys and girls that play. And they're all the way from 8th grade to 12th grade as well. And it was so exciting.
How many kids did you have on the team?
So we started with I think it was 12.
Yeah.
And then a couple of them, it wasn't quite their thing. And so they were like, I'm just going to wait because we're going to be doing track soon. So some of those kids wanted to do track instead of the basketball, which was absolutely fine. So we had 9. We ended up with 9.
Okay.
And it was great. Like, the halftime event was amazing. Like, they had so much fun. Just to see their smiles was awesome. And to see, like, everyone in the crowd cheering for them, like the students like calling out their names and cheering for them, like when they would make a basket. It was amazing. Like, it was just so awesome.
Now, I understand you also head up the Blue Crew.
I do.
You got all the fun jobs.
I do have all the fun jobs. Yes. I have all the fun jobs. I love all of it. And then, yes. So back to our game that we had. It was absolutely amazing.
Okay, are we talking the scrimmage or the real game?
The real game.
Yeah, and that was like a Thursday night
yes.
A week or so ago.
Yes, it sure was.
So give me what happened then?
Oh.
You had your game. Was it before a varsity game or something?
Well, actually, it was our game that whole night. It was just us.
Oh.
They got to play in the main gym. Like, it was, the energy in there was so amazing. And the kids, like, I was so impressed with our student body.
Did you have a good crowd?
Oh, we had a great crowd. Our Blue Crew, like, showed up and, like, so dance performed for us.
Oh,
they
cool.
did amazing. Yes,
Yeah.
they performed the school song and they performed during halftime. We had the band there. They were awesome.
Nice.
A couple girls from chorus sang the national anthem. It was amazing. Blue Crew, like, they showed up, like, they were cheering for both teams. The basketball boys, all the basketball boys, they all came and they made the tunnels for both teams.
Okay.
Yeah,
because
Special Olympics is about having fun. It's competition for sure.
Yeah,
but it's also about just really having fun. And I loved seeing how the entire crowd was cheering for everyone. I mean, I was wanting to cry throughout the whole night because it was just so emotional and it was amazing. Like, Mr. Steinkühler at the high school, he really pulled out all the stops for us. It was just like a regular varsity game, and it just made all the kids feel so special. We did special announcements and it was awesome. Like, it was fantastic.
And did you have, you had people from the school. Did you have any outside fans, any fans from the community show up?
Oh, yeah. There was lots of fans from the community that showed up. Not just our family, our team's families, but there was quite a bit. I mean, it was a really good turnout. I was really happy, because I was like, this is our first time. We don't know how many people we're going to get.
You don't want them to be disappointed.
Yeah, and we were trying to get it out there, but sometimes it's hard to get it out there, as much as you would like. But
you know what? That's a good example. We were talking earlier about how much you love this area.
Oh, I do. I love it.
You love the Tri-County.
Yes,
right?
I sure do.
And why do you think it is the way it is? It is so loving, and they take people in.
They do. They just just accept everyone, I feel like, like everybody. My oldest son has special needs, and just the support that he's gotten from the community and like from the school.
And just walking the halls.
Just walking the halls. Like the kids love him. They're like, Big Al, you know? And I love to hear that. And it's not just my son. I hear them do that for a lot of the students that I have in class as well. You know?
Yeah.
Whenever one of our students scored 3.
A 3-pointer?
Yes. Oh, my goodness.
Oh, boy.
Yes. I'm going to go ahead and call him out. Aiden Quinn. Like, I just have to do it.
Yeah.
He scored a 3-pointer at our game, and I'm telling you what, the entire crowd, it was so loud in there. It was amazing. Like, it just made you tear up, you know, because
Now,
just
are you their coach, too?
Yes. So
Okay.
I'm one of the coaches. And then also Maddie Brown, she is also in the special education department at Jerseyville. And Kim Mitchell are also coaches as well with me. So we make a perfect team.
Hey, if you're just joining us, I have Rachel Cox with me. She teaches at the high school social studies and English. And she runs the Blue Crew and got Special Olympics. Now, I got a question for you. You know, you're doing great things with Special Olympics, you know. Now, years ago, what was going on? Because, you know, the schools didn't have a place for other students that were, you know, behind or whatever. So,
Yeah. Well, I think that COVID, whenever COVID hit,
yeah.
a lot of the special education, or not special education, but Special Olympics programs kind of left the school. And then it's been, you know, kind of hard to get them back into the schools. But I see so many schools now, like, bringing those programs back into their school.
Okay.
And so, which is awesome.
Yeah.
Like, it's great for all the students that are involved.
Now, you did basketball this year. Had a game. You got anything coming up?
Yeah.
What else are you going to do?
Oh my goodness, yeah. So we're getting ready to start track. And so we will begin practices probably in just a few weeks. And then we will have our regional match will be in April. I think it's around April 27th.
Who you matching?
So they have a huge, the regionals for Special Olympics. It is so much fun. But everybody comes together. And so let me back up for a second. I'm sorry. This might be kind of confusing because a lot of people don't realize that Special Olympics is for anyone that has like an IEP or a 504. So that can be all
What's
different.
an IEP or 504?
IEP is a individualized education program.
Okay.
And so that's usually what most special ed students have. And that could be, I think, a misconception about IEPs or special education is that it's not, I think it gets a bad name sometimes because people look at it kind of in a negative way sometimes, but it's not negative at all. Like, it just means that student they need maybe some different things to learn in a little bit of a different way. And so that can be like, you could have a student that is off the charts with intelligence, I guess, right?
Yes.
And so they could be off the charts with intelligence. They could have an IEP to give them harder work. Like, so it really just depends. You know what I mean? So like, we have students that, like, you would never even know that they have IEPs or 504s.
But they just need a special situation to learn.
Yes, they need a special situation to learn.
They just can't normally. They just
No.
It's hard for them.
Yeah, like maybe they need harder work. You know what I mean? Than the general education classes, or maybe they need work that is the same type of work, but maybe they're struggling in reading, and so you can give them the same type of work, but maybe bring it to their reading level. Does that make sense?
Yeah, and I think about in my schooling and generation how many kids struggle because they wanted everybody to be alike. You know, sit down, shut up, take some notes or whatever. You know, and some people have a hard time just sitting.
Oh, yes. Well, and that's another thing. Like, maybe a kid just is very
learn with their
hyper.
hands.
Yeah, or maybe they just need to sit. Yeah, they learn with their hands.
Or doing. They got to do things.
Or they need to have some kind of fidget during class to just keep them occupied. They're listening, they're learning, you know, or maybe they need to stand up and pace a little bit, you know.
Yeah.
That's what
and you let them.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And that can be written into, because an IEP is a legal document. So my legal experience, I feel like, has really helped me in that area. And so, because it's definitely a legal document, like whatever that IEP says is what you go off of. And yeah, so if a student maybe does have a hard time sitting in class, then we can write it in their IEP that maybe they're allowed to, whenever they need a break, get up and go get a drink whenever they need to. Or maybe there's a special spot in a classroom where they can kind of pace back and forth, and or maybe they need to sometimes take a break and lay down or something like, you know what I mean? Like people learn in all different ways. And that is what is great about special education, or an IEP or a 504, that sometimes that will allow them to be able to learn with those accommodations or things that might help them achieve the best that they can be.
Okay, so a child starts kindergarten, first grade, second grade. Do you have children that go through grade school and then you learn that, hey, actually they're special ed, or they need an IEP, or do you know right from the beginning?
Well, so it depends, because it's very individualized. Yeah. So it's whatever that student needs. Like my son, he has had an IEP since he was 3. So since he started pre-K, he's had an IEP.
Okay.
And so, because he is on the autism spectrum, and so he learns in a very different way than any of us learn.
Yeah.
And so like he struggles sometimes with academics, but I mean, he is sharp as a whip. You know what I mean? And he does things that just an example, like whenever he was little and we were learning like sight words and different things like that, I would put them on the back of a puzzle, and like he would put the puzzle together like backwards and say the words, right? But like he never saw the picture. Like the reward of putting the puzzle together was getting to see the picture at the end. I'd like flip it over and then he could see what it actually was. But like he's great at something like that, But so sometimes there's just like little things that maybe they have a hard time with this, but they do well with this, which that's any kid, I feel like. That's really anybody.
Yeah. So you got track coming up, and you'll have an event, and you'll train and get ready for that.
Yes.
And you say it's going to be a big deal. You're going to have a lot of other
it's going to be
coming.
A big deal. There will
Do you
be
know the
all
date
kinds
on it?
I think it's April 27th.
Okay.
Yes, I'm pretty sure that's what it is.
Do you ever need any help?
Oh, yeah. We need all kinds of help.
So listeners, if you're listening to this and you'd like to be a part of it with Rachel Cox, you can contact her at the school, and you could help with track maybe.
Right. Well, and at those big Special Olympic events, they always need volunteers.
Okay. Yeah.
And so, like, we are pretty good right now at the school, like, as far as the coaching and everything goes. But we, like I said, those big events, there's so many people there. And Special Olympics really goes all the way into adulthood. And so how it kind of works is you get to compete against people at it's based off of your skill level, your gender, and skill level, gender.
But not age.
Nope.
Okay.
Nope. So you could compete against someone that's at your skill level, like say my son Alex, like he is 16. He could be competing against someone in their 20s, just depending on their skill levels, right? And I love that you don't always necessarily know who, like in track, you don't always know exactly who you're competing with. You're in these groups because you could be competing against someone that's in a completely different group, and you don't know until the end if you actually are going to get a medal. So not everybody gets a medal in the Special Olympics, which I think is a big misconception about Special Olympics.
Okay.
That everybody gets a trophy here.
Right.
But they don't.
It's not like that.
It's not like that. It is a competition, and some athletes take it very seriously, But Special Olympics does a great job.
If you do well, you go to another Special Olympics?
So you go to state, which is always like, since we are Region J is the region that we're in for Special Olympics. So if our match will be at Triad School in Troy, and then our regional will be there. And so we'll compete against all of these other teams. A lot of them will be schools. Some of them will be individual, like groups and things like that you compete against. And then if you get a gold medal, you get to move on to state. And wow, state is awesome.
Where do they have it at?
They have it up in Bloomington at the Illinois University. Yeah.
University of Illinois.
Yep, University of Illinois.
And then if you win at state,
yeah.
then what?
Well, so state's the big one. Like
Okay,
once
state's
you
big.
win at state, like that's like your top honor.
Okay.
So, but they really do a good job. My son Alex has went to state a couple of times.
Oh.
And and so it's a lot of fun. Like the Special Olympics does a great job of making sure like that they make it fun for all the athletes. You know, they always have like different things going on at all of their events. And like I know my son went for individual skills in basketball a couple of years ago. And it was so much fun. Like they had like a dance party and laser tag and like all of these different events for them to do other than compete as well. You know what I mean? So so there's lots of competition, but there's also
a lot of fun
too.
Yeah. And they have a lot of fun.
Oh, yes. Like they have so much fun.
So you mentioned that you had a party. We've got a few minutes left.
Oh, okay.
All right. You had a party to celebrate the basketball season.
Oh, yes.
And probably gave out some awards or something.
We did, yes. We gave them all trophies.
Where'd you do that at?
We did that at Tee Shots here in Jerseyville. Oh, it was perfect. It was so much fun. It's like they have like different games that you can play. They're very like interactive, like game simulators. They had got the kids loved it. They played some zombie dodgeball. They played golf. They played hockey. They played basketball. They played soccer. They played Battleship. Like they played so many different games.
And
last
you had
night.
the place yourself?
Yes, we did. We had the place to ourselves, so we were able to invite all of their families as well. And so that was a lot of fun getting to kind of see everybody's family. And just, it was very, all the kids just have already made so many friendships that they maybe wouldn't have made just playing basketball. And so I'm really excited for track. I think it's going to be such an awesome time. So
Great. Well, Rachel, thank you so much for being a part of their lives in the community and doing so much. And
thank
you.
you.
got out of law and got into teaching. That's where you belong.
Me too. I mean, that is so where my heart is.
Well, thanks again and good luck. And,
thank you.
We'll see you out there.
Okay, that sounds great.
Okay.
Thanks.